Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you, and welcome back to another episode of Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and super excited to be with you as always today. I'm very pumped today because I have an amazing guest co-host, special guest. He's been on the show. I think he's been officially on 3 different shows that we have here on the Breakthrough Show Network, and it's always a thrill. Brian K. Wright is here. He's an author. He's a ghostwriter, and he basically, if I ever have a question about books, that's who I go to as an author. And so I'm going to call him the official author expert here on the Breakthrough Show Network. So he's going to be coming up here in a few minutes. If you're joining us live or on the replay, head over to the comments and let us know where you're joining from and what is bringing you incredible joy today. For me, let me tell you, I have so much going on behind the scenes that and I feel like what I'm being taught in this season of life is how to be quiet. Which is very interesting for a talk show host to be quiet because I'm always talking. But there's a lot happening and amazing good things. And, it does kind of feel good to swim in or marinate in something for a little while just to, cherish the moment. To be in the goodness of what's going on. And so I'm very excited about what's happening behind the scenes. And I did not prepare a breaking news segment for you this morning because we've had a bunch of stuff going on over here, but I know that we have been talking a lot about legislation here in the state of Connecticut regarding the whole homeschool thing that, I spent months up at the Capitol in Hartford last year during the summertime following the legislation that was coming out of there because we are a homeschool family. And, we're in a period of time where I think it's just important to pay attention because there's a lot of things that sound really great and wonderful on the surface, but if you dig in and really understand what's underneath, then it's something to talk about. And so Connecticut people, pay attention to SB6 that is coming across. There's going to be a public hearing on Tuesday. And basically the long and the short of it is that any parent who pulls their child out of school, out of public school for any reason, private school, parochial school, trade school, homeschool, whatever, it has to go through the Education Commission followed by DCF. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know what that bill says. Go check it out. It's SB6. You can literally Google it. It'll take you right to the page for our Capitol in Hartford, and you can look at the bills there. But I always tell people, look at the wording yourself. There's so many tools you could use. You could run the wording through Chat GPT if you don't understand it and say like, hey, what does this mean? Help me understand this a little bit better. Talk to the people that are involved, but don't believe the hype that you hear about anything about politics on social media. Okay. I needed my bell for that and I didn't bring my bell out today, but that's my little PSA for you today. And there's a lot of joy for me, even in the times like this, of knowing my power and knowing that I can go research things for myself and understand things without believing the masses. And there's a lot of joy to be had in that. So over in the comments, we've got Miss Saying D here. Happy, joy. What another day of delight to be here with you. Can't wait to hear from Brian. I know I was talking to Sang about this earlier, that every entrepreneur, every author needs to come listen to the show today. Miss Brittany is here this morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. Good to see you. And hello to everybody else who is out there this morning. I'm excited for today's show. Next week, by the way, on the Breakthrough Show next Friday, I have Dr. Karen Moore, who is an incredible filmmaker. She's just a great human, and I am so excited. We have had some absolutely incredible guests kicking off season 9 of the Breakthrough Show. And all of the other shows this year, Show Me Your Nuts, Rise and Shine Sundays, Spirit Sessions, Beyond 2D, all of the shows, the topics have been so on point for what we need in this world right now. So go over to the breakthroughshownetwork.com and check out all of the shows, all the events, because it's a good time and it's going to create that space for more breakthroughs, good breakthroughs in your life. We're going to take a super quick break. And when we come back, through the magic, Brian K. Wright will be here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live, and please welcome back to the show the incredible Brian K. Wright. Brian, I'm so happy to have you here with us again today.
I'm glad to be here, and I have the joy down in my heart. How about you?
Always. I love it. And you said that to me when I asked you to come on the show, and you and I always go back to music. We're always talking about music and musical theater and all of that. So I love it. What is bringing you joy today, Brian?
Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful for family. I'm grateful for my closest friends. I'm grateful that I have projects to work on. I'm grateful that I can be here to spend time with you and your audience this morning. I'm grateful that I'm taping an episode of my radio show later this morning, and that's been going for over 14 years. And so I'm always grateful for that. I'm working on the next edition of Ultimate Achievers magazine. That's been going on for over 7 years. I think we're working on issue maybe 95 right now. That's a monthly digital publication, ultimateachieversmagazine.com. You can look it up there if you want. And it's awesome. Always taking great contributions. So if people are writers and they want a place to publish their articles, I'm always open. And Jessica, you've contributed before.
I have. I was going to say, I know someone who's been in that magazine.
I do too.
And it's great. And it's great. Like, there's so many things in the magazine that are good for any entrepreneur, or anybody that I feel like even there's been things that have been in the magazine that, like, I've had my teenagers read, like just to be inspired by something and to go, hey, I can chase my dreams. I can do what I've always wanted to do. And I love that about that magazine.
Yeah, and I've made some lifelong friends because of this. So it's really great and has presented me opportunities. I've gotten red carpet opportunities to interview people based on my magazine and my radio show. So it's really fun when you can, be invited to a movie premiere to interview people who are in the movie. One time I got to interview Mary Madonna, who played Erin on the Waltons. And that was a lot of fun. In fact, and she was going, there's a whole string of people doing interviews. And so you work your way through the red carpet to each one until you're at the end. But before I had a chance to talk to her, I said, I have 2 favors. And she said, what? I said, number 1, I want you to sing the Waltons theme with me. So we went da 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 da, ba, ba, and you know the whole theme. And
Yeah.
then I said at the end, I want you to say goodnight to me. Because at the end of every Waltons episode, good night,
Yeah.
Grandpa, good night, John Boy, good night, Aaron, good night, Elizabeth. Yeah. If you watch the Waltons, very wholesome show, really great. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I got to interview her and I got to interview a lot of great people. And I love talking to people about book writing and publishing and promoting. And we're gonna have a good time today.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Yes, I do have a link to the magazine for you guys that I will give you. I will give you a personal link, Miss Sang, after the show, but it's also you can just go to I think it's Ultimate Achievers. Tell us what the website is, Brian.
UltimateAchieversMagazine.com.
That's what I thought. Yeah. See, Brian made it easy for you guys. Okay.
UltimateAchieversMagazine.com.
UltimateAchieversMagazine.com.
It's you can choose your subscription option and you will have a chance to read every single issue going all the way back to December 2017. Kevin Harrington was the very first cover that I
Yes.
did back then. That interview was brilliant. If you have a product or have been dying to talk to an investor about whatever you're doing, he tells you how to pitch an investor, do's and
Yes.
don'ts. And that's just issue number 1.
Right. There's been so many good ones. I know we have some mutual friends who have also been in the magazine. Steve Gamlin is one that, we love Steve around here. So that's super fun as well.
Yep.
But I saw a post
We do
the other
too.
day that you made on Facebook, which is what sort of inspired me to message you and be like, I need you to come back on the show. And you're an author, you're a ghostwriter, you've put together some compilation books, you've done a lot of different things in the author world. And one of the things that I think for me as an author, we have the launch of our book. And it's a great and wonderful and exciting, and everybody's excited. And eventually it sort of starts to dwindle down. We might get busy with other projects. We might not have a plan of how do we continue to market this book. Do you think like that's fairly normal for authors to experience that?
It is. In fact, one time I had a client and we, promoted it on launch day. And then she messaged me the next day and says, do I need to promote this again today? I'm like, yes, just because you don't quit feeding your baby just because it's the day after birth. This is your baby. You feed this. And I do feed this. I mean, I've got 10 books now. Many of them are compilation books, but my favorite one is Success Profiles, Conversations with High Achievers. And that was with Morgan James Publishing, and the rest of my books have all been self-published. But they got me in bookstores, and so I got to do bookstore signings. And I wrote an article in the magazine about how to maximize your bookstore signing. And we'll talk about bookstore signings today.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do. We can just talk about some of those ways now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, when obviously, like you said, around launch time, we have a big launch, and usually the launch involves like a good couple weeks of sharing and promoting and all of that. So once that like launch period is over, how like starting from there, how do you suggest people plan for what it looks like to promote the book in the future?
Yeah. When I have a book cover for what the book is going to be, I will tease it in advance and I'll say coming soon. And that first post will generate a lot of buzz. And so keep that post in mind, because on launch day, you're going to go back to every single person who liked and commented on that post, even if there's over 100 people, and you'll say, the book is live now. Here's the link. Recomment on everyone else's comments so that they all see it. Now, some of them will buy it and some of them won't. Some are just commenting to be polite and like, oh, good job.
Yeah.
No, I want you to buy the book.
Yes.
I want you to buy the book.
Yeah.
Something else you should do is encourage people to buy multiple copies. I know people who will buy 10 copies of your book and give the rest of them away to support you. Your super fans will buy anything you do.
Love that.
And so if I've heard people say that if you've got 1,000 super fans, you are good to go. I mean, you think about celebrities who have millions and millions of fans. Some of those people will buy everything you do. So if you've got a really healthy set of super fans in your circle, you're going to be just fine. But encourage people to buy more than one copy. I do that all the time. In fact, I will occasionally buy multiple copies of my clients' books and give them away just to show them support. Because on launch day, for example, the algorithm will show your book more frequently on launch day. If Amazon is selling a lot of copies on one day, they're going to say, they might promote it, or they might link your book with another book. People who bought this book will also buy this book, that kind of thing. So you're going to maximize your ranking on Amazon if you can get everyone to buy your book on one day. Now, obviously the question here is, how do you restart your campaign?
Right.
Maybe there's some new news on your topic. You can do a press release. Now, I did a press release when I launched my book, that particular book, because my publisher told me to. And so I spent $400 to do a press release, and it was professionally done. It was very nice. And it got picked up by, I think, 228 different outlets, newspapers and magazines all around the country. But nothing happened. And I went back to my publisher and said, nothing happened. They said, that's quite common. Then why did I do this? And I was venting to another author friend of mine who's also in the publishing space. And she said, well, Brian, did you follow up with any of those outlets? Oh, you can do that.
I mean,
whoops.
Who'd have thought?
Whoops. I didn't do that. And so usually the press release company, well, at least in my case, the company that did the press release will send a list of all the outlets who picked it up, because they want to show you that what they did actually worked.
Right.
So, I mean, from their perspective, we want you to know that this actually did get picked up, and here's a list of all the outlets. And so if I had to do that all again, I would go back to every single outlet that picked it up, and I would say, hi, you picked up my press release about such and such book. If you, and you might want to pitch something relevant about your topic, but basically you want to pitch that organization to do a full story on you or a feature. And it's not just, hey, here's my book, promote me. It's create a story around, and this is a completely different topic, but you'll want to create a pitch that the outlet will want to pick up.
Right.
Is it a topic that they've been talking about on their news? Is it a current topic? Is it a topic that's pretty universal, like love and relationships and dating and whatnot? I mean, I've got a book, The Greatest Lessons I Learned from My Dad. Now, obviously, every Father's Day, I'm going to promote that book because it's centered around a day. Have you noticed around Christmas time, you hear the same Christmas songs every single year? Well, Mariah Carey makes at least $2 million every single year on one song at Christmas time. We all know what song that is. She's happy and grateful that she is back in the public eye. Prince, when he did 1999, he did that back in the early 80s. I don't know if he was he probably was that forward thinking, knowing that when 1999 came around, everyone was going to play his song.
Yep.
At Halloween, people play Thriller a lot because it's scary,
Right.
So if you've got books that are topical, you have a great excuse to pick that up every single year again. So follow up with outlets, do a press release. You can also, a completely different strategy here, speak in front of audiences. Now, they can be audiences at someone else's event. Maybe they've invited you. Maybe it's your event that you've created yourself. Maybe it's a talk at your local library. I did that when I moved home. There were 3 people in the audience, and one of them was my mom. But I live in a small town of 2,000 people, and I picked a bad night to do this because some of the people that I wanted to come said, oh, well, the county fair board meets every first Thursday of the month to plan the next summer's county fair. And that's the night they were doing it. And I didn't know it. So 3 people in my audience, but I did sell 2 books.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And my mom already had one because I gave it to her. So everyone in the audience had a book.
Yeah.
Not going to tell you there are only 3 people there. Everyone in my audience bought my book. And that's so funny too about some people marketing. It's like, my book was so good that every single person in the audience bought it. Yeah. How many people in your audience?
Right.
3. Good job, I guess. Right.
I mean, but you know what? It's interesting. It's a totally different topic here, but just to go there for a moment, I know that you hang out a lot in entrepreneurial spaces, and it's sad to me that we see that so often, this sort of perception that something is a certain way. And then people like me, I'm a little bit jaded now. I'm a little like, can I believe you? What do you mean when you say that? Right.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of book signings, which I alluded to earlier, with that particular book, Success Profiles, Conversations with High Achievers, which, by the way, was a compilation of a bunch of episodes from my radio show, Darren Hardy Sharon Lecter, Tom Ziegler, really Jack Canfield, many, many great people were on my show, and it was a compilation of all of those interviews. But I did a bookstore signing several times. I think I did 15 bookstore signings in the Phoenix area when I lived there around that. And so if you are in a bigger metropolitan area and you want to do your book in a bookstore, they love local authors. So you could either call them or you can visit them in person, which is even better. And you can introduce yourself as a local author. This is what my book is about. Do you do local author book signings? And many of them will. And so you can agree on a date. That date they will usually pick a date more than 30 days in advance because they want time to plan and market, because they usually have an email list. And so they'll say, coming up on this Saturday, we have such and such author in the store. They have to have time to make signs to put in the window display. They need to have time to make the sign that will be next to your table that explains who you are and what your book is. So all of those things. With bookstore signings, I can give you some tips around bookstore signings. You can write your own PA announcement. Yes, because at the first book signing I didn't have this, and I was trusting the bookstore staff to talk about a book that they hadn't read. Right.
Like, so, this guy, Brian K. Wright, is here. He's at the table over there.
Still, sold 3 books that day. I found out, by the way, that is the industry standard of books at a bookstore signing. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry to break it up a little.
And I've heard bookstore managers say we have lots of authors. Yeah, 3 is the national average at a bookstore signing. I've had bookstore managers tell me that sometimes an author will sell none. Why did they sell 0? Because they sat at their table and wait for people to walk up to them. That will not happen. Think about going to your high school dance. If you're standing by the wall, you are waiting for someone to ask you to dance. You may have someone ask you to dance, but you're going to be standing by yourself most of the time. So you need to stand up and picture yourself as a Walmart greeter. Someone walks into the store. Hi, welcome to Barnes & Noble. And if they acknowledge me, I'll say, great day to read a book. And if they acknowledge me again, then I'll say, what kind of book do you like to read? As they're trying to walk away from me. But if they turn around and say, well, I like anything related to personal development or business, well, that's what my book is about. Okay, tell me about your book. Now you've locked them in. And there's a 50% chance that they will buy a book from me at that point. But if they say horror, young adult, gothic, I'm like, I hope you find the book you're looking for. Not my crowd.
Right.
But you want to tell people, your friends, that you are going to be signing books at such and such a store, because some of your friends will come, and bookstores, of course, appreciate that because they're counting on you to bring your friends in, because if they buy your book, they're probably buying something else too.
Right.
But most people are not coming to the store to see you. They are coming for their reasons. And so you have to start attracting attention. Attention is tremendous currency. What else? You want to show up early for your bookstore signing, because sometimes the manager you scheduled it with isn't even there on that day.
Yeah.
Sometimes the table's not even set up.
Been there.
Yeah. And so show up 30 minutes early. And if your table's set up, I mean, you can just start selling now. You don't have to wait until 1 o'clock. If you're there at 12:30, start selling. Let's go. And sometimes I'll stay for an hour after. They'll say, such and such an author is here from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I'll usually be there from like 12:30 to 4, because if I'm selling copies, I want to keep going.
Right.
By the end of the day, I'm exhausted though, because I've done a lot of talking.
Yeah.
But you can sign books at places other than bookstores too. Another tip I'd like to have for your audience is find unusual places to sign your book. Now, if your book is more of an artsy kind of book, why not see if you can do a bookstore signing in an art gallery?
Love that.
Yeah. So think about the theme of your book. Sometimes you might have a book launch party, which is another strategy. Have a book launch party. I've been to book launch parties at restaurants and bars, because they know if you're inviting all of your friends to their bar, they're probably going to buy food and drink. So why wouldn't they want to host an event that's going to bring 20, 30, 40, 50 people to their establishment? Of course, they're going to say yes, if they're progressive and forward thinking enough.
Right. Yeah. So, we had for my children's book that I released last year, It's a book about koalas and friendship, and so I ended up having a couple signings at a local cafe that it because I'm vegan. It was a vegan cafe. And so it just made sense to have a book about animals in a vegan cafe and, just have
Hmm.
that sort of connection. And it was fun. It wasn't, there wasn't a huge crowd. It's a small little restaurant, but even just some of the conversations that I was able to have with people at the book signing have led to other things also, which I think is a great point.
Right. Now, if you have a children's book, and this is for everyone out there, if you've got a children's book, reach out to local elementary schools in your area.
Hmm.
Say you're a local author, you have a children's book. Schools have budgets for stuff like this. So ask them if they will buy a book for every kid in your class and offer to come read it to them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
answer questions about your book and talk to the kids. Maybe you've inspired them that maybe they want to write someday too. And how
Yeah.
beautiful of a dream is that?
Yes, love that.
Absolutely.
I ended up doing the a read aloud at the library for the kids, and then I was contacted by the school because they wanted me to come to the school too. So one thing can lead to another as well, which I think is always
Yeah.
good.
And ask for referrals. Where else do you know that I can speak? Because these
Yeah.
teachers know schools at people at other schools. Ask where
Yeah.
else can I read my book? What other schools can you recommend that I should go to? Do you have friends who teach at other schools? Now, you can also sign your books at really unusual places. I had a guest on my show who called himself the cowboy philosopher. And so he signed his book while sitting on his horse. And he got a lot of media attention. I mean, okay, what is the deal with this guy? You're going to
Yeah.
get some attention. It's so unusual. And TV stations and newspapers love stuff like that. They want the unusual. They want the story that no one else has told. So yes, he did his book signing while sitting on top of a horse. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. That is amazing. I don't know. I'm trying to think, what could I do? Could I do a book signing by the koala exhibit at the, I don't know.
At
It's
the
just
zoo.
kind of,
Yes, yes, yes. I'm not even kidding. Reach out to your zoo and find out if they will host an author signing for you at the zoo at the koala section.
yeah.
Yes, because zoos have mailing lists too.
Yeah.
Meet author Jessica Dugas at on such and such a date. Her book is called, and see her in the koala section.
Yeah.
Buy her
Yeah.
book. She'll
So
sign it for you,
fun.
and she'll talk to you and your kids.
Yeah. Love
How
that.
cool
I
is
love
that?
that.
Yes, go to the zoo. Please
Yeah.
do a store signing at a zoo.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Sang said you are swooning her all over the place. She's so excited about all these tips. So we
Well,
love that.
good.
We love that. What is it? Because I appreciate all of those tips, and I would love to know, because this is Project Joy and I'm always leaning into the joy part. What is it that brings you the most joy about being an author?
Seeing my book being completed and seeing people buy it, it's validation that I spent my hard work on something
Mm,
that people are actually enjoying.
yeah.
So being
Yeah.
done with it brings me the most joy. Yes, I enjoy the journey, I enjoy the process, and I enjoy coming up with the ideas and the creativity behind it. But I, I mean, obviously, I'm not a woman, but I would imagine if you're pregnant, your favorite part is holding your baby in your hand when it's out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some women really enjoy pregnancy, from what I understand, but
Not me.
I think most moms really enjoy the end result of the pregnancy and
Right.
being done with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when the husband says, "Let's do this again," you're like, not now, not yet.
Yeah, right.
Let's get this one done first."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in that same sense, when it comes to releasing books, like, do you feel like there's an optimal time between releasing one book to the next? Like, how much time should you give it between?
Well,
Is there a should?
I don't know if there necessarily is. I think you do want to be consistent, though.
Mm,
I mean, you take a look at the music industry. The Beatles released an album about every 6 months, and people couldn't get enough of them. Elton John's
mm,
first recording contract was he had to do 13 albums in 6 years. And he was so exhausted by the end of that, his final album was a live album. He just wanted to fulfill his contract with his record company and be done with them for a while. Now, artists will release something every 2, 3, maybe 4 years.
mm.
Adele hasn't done an album in a long time. So it's an event. I mean, Michael Jackson was actually the master of this. Off the Wall came out in 79, Thriller came out in late 82, Bad came out in 87, and Dangerous came out, I think, in 91. So it was a very big deal. Now, he had an interesting deal with Janet, though. They promised not to cannibalize each other's albums. So after Michael was done, he would wait for Janet to do hers and have that one cash through before Michael released his next album. So there was a reason why he waited so long between albums. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors in 77, Tusk in 79, Mirage 82, Tango in the Night 87. Of course, they also did solo projects in between, but that was a group that needed its time apart. Right. So it was a very, very big deal when Fleetwood Mac did an album together.
Yeah.
But at the same time, most of us don't have that kind of notoriety. So my first book was in 2009. My next book was in 2014. And then I did a book in 2018, 2019. I did 3 books, I think, in 2020 or 2021. I've got 10 now. So all 10 of those have happened since 2009, but most of those books have happened since 2018.
Right. Well, the other thing, like when you were talking about the music part, something that a lot of artists are doing right now is releasing like the EP, like singles or a collection of just a couple of songs as opposed to the full album. And they're doing it between albums if they do albums at all. So I was thinking about that when you were talking about your magazine, how even if you don't have another book coming out, there are other opportunities to showcase your writing and what you do in between by doing things like what you offer, which is writing in your magazine.
Yeah. I mean, stay active all the time because people aren't just waiting for your book to come out. They're looking, if they love you and everything you do, they're going to look for everything you do. Dr. Benjamin Hardy is one of my favorite authors right now, business authors. And I've consumed most of his books by now. And it's basically his whole idea is building and scaling businesses. Tony Robbins is also one of my favorite authors. I think he is reissuing the expanded version of Awaken the Giant Within. I think that's coming out in May. That first book came out like 30 some years ago. I joined a gym for the first time because of that book, because chapter 1 is about make a decision today. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll join a gym. I'm looking forward to that coming out.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. So people can find you. We talked about the magazine, ultimateachieversmagazine.com, but also if someone is an author and they need your help, then where can they go for that, Brian? And what can you offer them?
Callwithbrian.com. Just get on my calendar.
There you go.
Callwithbrian.com. Yeah. Very, very easy. Book a call with me. I'll talk to you at whatever point in your journey you are. If you're just starting, if you're in the middle of it, if you are done and just want to talk about publishing or whatever, and if it's a good fit for us to work together, we'll talk about that too. But I do want to answer your questions for sure, because I love these conversations.
And super, super knowledgeable, really, about anything with books. Like I said, you are the person that I come to if I feel like I have a question. And it's also just to the opportunity that you give also to be a part of Ultimate Achievers magazine is so nice. And it's such a great experience because I was writing books, but I wasn't really accustomed to writing shorter pieces. And so that's been a learning process. And it's been so fun to be in magazines with people like that have been on Shark Tank, or some of my favorite people like yourself, like Steve Gamlin. You're surrounded by good people when you work with Brian. And so definitely reach out for everybody that's out there.
Yeah. And if you are writing magazines or writing magazine articles, and your articles tend to be about one type of topic, for example, how to use AI effectively, if you've got enough of those articles, hey, you've got chapters for a book now.
There's another good tip. Listen, we could be on here for 3 hours and the tips would not stop. Brian, it's always so fun to have you on. Anything you want to leave our audience with today?
Start writing your book if you haven't done it, because it really will change your life. And I'm not promising that you'll make a ton of money writing your book. It's what you do with the book after you're done. You can spin, and this is another whole completely different topic, but you can spin your book into speaking, being on podcasts, retreats, coaching. I mean, you can either sell a bunch of your $20 books, or you can sell a coaching program that you charge three, two, three, four, five, $10,000 for, or whatever. That's where it's really at. And that's where you get your ROI. It's what you do with your book. It's not selling the book. You may or may not sell 1 million copies. Most people only sell about 250 copies of their book in their lifetime, but that's because most people stop promoting the book. And one final tip, and this is something that I'm going to be embarking on soon, sell your book in bulk to businesses if it's something that will benefit that business. So for example, personal development business, I'm going to reach out to sales companies like real estate, financial planning, insurance, even industries like, dentists, doctors. I mean, they have a captive audience. So sell boxes of your books at a time. Give a little bit of a discount. If they're buying 25 copies at a time, they can give it to their staff for staff development. They can give it to their best clients for client appreciation gifts. They're always looking for creative ways to appreciate their customers.
Yeah. I love it. So many good tips. Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for being with me again today. We have to do this more often because I always enjoy having you on, and it's super fun. Super fun.
Ask me anytime. I'll make space for you.
All right. Thanks, Brian. All right, everybody. Make sure you go visit Brian at callwithbrian.com. You can also visit ultimateachieversmagazine.com. We're going to take a super quick break because it is the end of Love Month and hear Dorothy Auger's For Love poem, and we'll be right back after this. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks.
I shall stand for love even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
Thank you for standing for love with us today, and welcome back to Project Joy Live. Wasn't Brian amazing, everybody? Give him some love in the comments, and I will be sure to pass that on to him. Always enjoy spending time with him, not just for the book info, but we could have if we had nothing to do, we would have shows talking about music, Brian and I. We would go on and on and on, and that would be the end of that. I love it. Thank you, Teresa, for being here this morning. Thank you, Brittany, for standing for love with us today. What do we have? It's time to do birthdays, guys. Ready? Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, everybody. In the world of celebrity today, the incredible Johnny Cash, who passed away in 2003, had a birthday today. Also, one of my favorite artists, Erykah Badu, is 55 years old today, and I will never forget when her album Baduism came out. I still, to this day, I will have weeks where I go and just dive into that entire album. It takes me somewhere. On vacation, perhaps. I don't know. Connecticut's own Michael Bolton is 73 years old today. I got a little teary-eyed when I read that it was his birthday today, because I know that Michael has been going through a lot of health challenges. We were scheduled to go see him at Mohegan Sun 2 Decembers ago, my husband and I, for our anniversary, and they canceled it because he wasn't well. And it was shortly after that they announced that he was having really significant health issues, and he continues to fight it. But I always have felt super connected to Michael through his music, and the fact that he, lives here in Connecticut. And so nice to have him close by. But happy birthday, Michael Bolton. Also, actor Bill Duke, 83 years old today. Reggae singer and Bob Marley's only son, Kai Manny Marley is 50 years old today. Happy birthday. And singer Corinne Bailey Ray is 47 years old today. Happy birthday to you. The celebrities in my life, we have a few. Lonnie Pellegrino has a birthday today. Kishana Yelverton, friend from school days, has a birthday. Hope Locke, who's a good friend of ours over in the Global Business Plaza and within the virtual community. Happy birthday to you, Hope. And also Wayne G. Wayne performs at Mohegan Sun Casino occasionally with my cousin Jimmy. If you guys do not know and haven't had a chance to do it, go over to comics at Mohegan Sun Casino Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and watch Jim Spinato's magic show. And you might get to see Wayne in some of those as well. But incredible show. Don't bring your kids. It's R-rated. So don't say I didn't warn you. But it is a great time comedy magic show. And he also does a comedy hypnosis once a month as well, Jimmy. But happy birthday to Wayne. And thank you for bringing lots more magic and fun to my cousin's shows. So that's our birthdays for today. It's time to get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Johnny Cash, Erica Badu, Michael Bolton, Bill Duke, Kai Manny Marley, Corinne Bailey Ray, Wayne Hope, Carrie, Shana, and Lonnie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Let's look at the calendar and see what's coming up inside the Breakthrough Show Network. All right. Coming up after the show today, we always have every Friday after the show our Pomodoro style breakthrough co-working. We check it at 9:55 and we work together through 4 25-minute sessions or segments during the session from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern time. And that's in our virtual community. You can go to the breakthroughshownetwork.com or .club, check out the event calendars that's there, and you can subscribe to any of the events, and it will give you the link once you click going to the event to get to the right place. Also this afternoon, I do have open office hours happening. I have a client this afternoon, but from about 4:30 to 5:30 or 6 p.m. Eastern time, I will be in my virtual office. Again, you can find it at thebreakthroughshownetwork.com or .club. And I will be in there. And if you have any questions about becoming a host on the Breakthrough Show Network or a co-host or an event host, what is the Blue Duck Society all about and all of that, you're welcome to come in. This is the last official open office hours I will have beginning in March. I'm really excited that every single office hours that I hold will have a specific theme. And I'm excited about that because I think there's a lot of times that people will come in and they're not even really sure all of the things that we offer within the Breakthrough Show Network or things that I offer as Jessica Dugas. So I'm excited to have those different themes and have people be able to come in and I get to do what I love to do, which brings me so much joy, which is to give people an experience. And as a sort of side note, I've been thinking about that a lot lately, about what it means to create space for people, what it means to guide people on and in an experience, and not just taking up of time. Because the truth is that there's a lot of content in the world. There's a lot of content in the world. We are inundated on social media and with buy my program, buy my product, buy my service. And then we have all of the podcasts and shows and then regular TV and movies and all of those things. And I want you to know, first of all, that I do not take it for granted that you all have chosen to be here with me today. It is so meaningful to me that out of everything you could be doing with your time, that you are here with me today. It means more to you than I can express. But I've also been thinking a lot about my role in that and what it means to ask somebody to spend time with you, and what is the time you're taking up? Are there things that are perhaps taking more time than maybe they should? Or are there ways that we can express things in a more clear, concise way so we aren't taking up so much time? And then how can we create the absolute best experience possible? So if this is something you've been thinking about too, I'd love for you to let me know. Send me a message, private message, or email me, jessica@thebreakthroughshow.com, because I just want you to know that you're not alone in that. And I think we can really come together and say, okay, how can we create the best experiences possible for our people out there? And so I'm excited. Anyway, next week on Project Joy Live, let me get my schedule up really quick here for you guys so that I can tell you the correct thing. I am pumped about next week's episodes of Project Joy Live, because on Monday, March 2nd, I have a very special co-host, and his name is Claudio Perron, and he is the creator of the Ripley platform that we use for our virtual community, and I'm so excited for him to share with you guys. We're going to be talking about the joy of community that was rescheduled from last week because of our lovely blizzard that we have here. On Wednesday, March 4th, I will have Olivia Ambani back on the show, and we're always talking about something amazing in music and in business. And then finally, on Friday, I have Danielle Valero back on the show, and we're going to be talking specifically about the evolution of movies. We're going to be we're going to get nostalgic with you guys, as we always do on Flashback Friday with Danielle, talking about Blockbuster Video. Y'all remember going to Blockbuster and Hollywood Video with your families, and getting a little treat, picking a VHS to watch. We're going to be talking about some of the special effects. We're going to talk about drive-in movies, tickets. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about where nostalgia and movies are concerned. So definitely tune in next Friday, March 6th. So Claudio Perrone, Olivia Ambani, Danielle Valero, that's our lineup for Project Joy Live next week. It is going to be a good one. We have lots going on always. As I mentioned, go visit thebreakthroughshownetwork.com or .club and check out our events calendar, which has all of our shows, all of our events, and ways to connect with me and the incredible hosts, event hosts, and co-hosts on the Breakthrough Show Network. Thank you guys so much for being here with us for another episode. A huge thank you to Brian K. Wright for being here today. Definitely go back and listen to some of those tips and tricks. If you are an author, if you're thinking about being one, take some notes. Okay. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. I love you all so much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.